Our purpose is to build a holistic voice that creates a community of like-minded, healthy people for a healthier planet. Our goal is to unify the community, nourishing the growth in mind, body, spirit, awareness, and wellness. We want to engage our community and visitors so they have access to powerful momentum of the holistic presence in our community. We do this by creating awareness through interviews, providing education and awareness of cutting-edge modalities. We also provide access for consumers to quality natural health and wellness professional and practitioners and like-minded business that support this community. Thank you for listening with us on Healthy Planet One. Stay with us for the next interview with our next holistic guest.
Welcome, everyone. This month's focus is on embracing your gift and growing your business. This topic multitude of doors, and we have invited 4 speakers to address this from their valuable points of view. We invite you to listen to us each week, and our guest this week is CeCe. CeCe, or should we call you Cecilia? Which would you rather?
Well, my mother named me Cecilia, but I like CeCe.
Okay, and would you do me a favor and pronounce your last name? Because it's one that my tongue gets twisted on.
I know, so I call it INWENTARZ. I know I'm in summers now, but my name is INWENTARZ.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Okay, CeCe INWENTARZ, here we go. CeCe has joined us. She has over 25 years of executive P&L, which is profit and loss responsibility, with Fortune 50 companies like IBM and Best Foods, and a startup, Dr. Sears Zone Nutrition. CeCe, I understand you've managed America's most famous food brands, such as Hellmann's, Mazola, Domino's, and Knorr International, and you're no longer involved with those. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm just kidding. That was my own bias, right? I had to add.
You know that corporate America is always an up or out job. No one stays in it forever.
Exactly. And so I understand for a decade as an entrepreneur and CEO of CHi Consulting, you are also a Master Energy Practitioner and author of Become the Butterfly, Experience the Heartfelt Energy and Empowering Holistic Leadership. And I'm really excited to have you with us today. You have come with a plethora of experience, quite honestly. And I think one of the things that we wanted to cover today was business brand strategy. So give me a little bit more about your background and our listeners so that they can understand kind of where you come and how you go from good to greatness.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to speak to the Holistic Chamber of Commerce and to talk about that brand strategy. And it's something that's very close to me and very natural to me, but is very foreign to most people. And there's so much power in it that I wanted to take the aspects of brand strategy and bring it into personal development, which is my second love. So that's why I look a little schizophrenic on my resume. How could she be a corporate person and also be a Master Energy Practitioner? But Master Energy Practitioner is not so far from personal development, and brands are all about leaders with personal development schedules.
And you certainly have a big background in that. Tell us a little bit more about that and your experience.
Becoming a part of a corporate brand marketing department is really a lot of luck through networking. And it turned out that a vendor that I worked for, a very close friend of mine, worked at the corporate headquarters. And through one of those coincidences, an opening came and I was able to interview for it. And it was a wonderful part of my life. I had just graduated with my undergraduate degree and was, ready for a new challenge. And corporate America also, I achieved my master's degree while working for corporate America. So it was a very fulfilling part of my life. I enjoyed it very much.
All right. So tell us what you did around brand strategy then in that world.
Well, what I'd like to talk about with business brand strategy is why having one is so important to the listeners.
Good.
So the history of branding is that branding was developed and perfected by Procter and Gamble in the 1950s. And they made it famous with their show and tell commercials that were all about their detergent products, which really made them very wealthy. And it was quickly adopted and spread through the entire business world. Even people today have embraced personal branding and as a result have become famous, influential, and wealthy. I can think of many people, and you can too, who have made an entire business out of it. So the reason I want to talk about a brand strategy is it's really critical for every business that spends money to attract customers and clients. And a written brand strategy keeps everyone that you hire on strategy. And this means that no matter how juicy the offer is that comes to you, if it's not on strategy, on your strategy, it's the kiss of death. And what happens with a brand marketer is they're the first person and maybe the only person that gets tired of their brand strategy because they bring it out and march it out so often to help make good decisions. So the other reason a brand strategy is very important is it keeps you on point with your messaging. I don't know if you realize how many messages people are bombarded with, both offline and with online advertising.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's not even considering the fact that multitasking women have about 20,000 individual thoughts in their brain daily. And men are estimated to have about 7,000, although I really think it's the same thought over and over, but they have the power of focus that we don't have. We are multitaskers.
Yeah, I heard a joke about that one time from a comedian.
Well, I wasn't going to repeat that.
So I think this is important, CeCe, if you don't mind, explain what brand strategy means. Because I can tell you from my background, I came across a brand strategist and I was just thinking I needed a new label. And when I got involved in that conversation, I was like, oh my God, this is not what I was thinking about, just getting a new label. So can you say more about what a defining brand strategy is, please?
Well, I can. And actually, if the listeners would get a piece of paper and a pen, there's a format that I'm going to share that I'm going to use over and over. And then I will enable you when we're through to be able to have the understanding to write your own brand strategy for yourself, because it's not that hard to do, but it is very, very disciplined in how you think about it. The last thing I wanted to say about a brand strategy is that because people's minds are so filled and their world is so bombarded, the strategy is there because it's been proven that people need to hear the same message at least 3 times before it sinks in. Mm-hmm. And so if you have a different message in your advertising than your literature, than your radio broadcasts, or whatever brand of marketing you're using, and you think, well, they've heard it once, it's not true. They're not going to remember it. And so today, I am telling you why you should brand, how to be a great brand, and how to go from good to greatness. And the reason I'm telling you that now is it's the old axiom. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. 3 times you need to repeat things for people to remember it. And that's really the bottom line and why a brand strategy is really so powerful for anyone and any size business. So here is how to develop your own business brand strategy. I'm going to say the word blank, and when I say the word blank, you're going to just draw an underline on the paper because you're going to fill in your own information later. So it's blank, underline, is the brand of blank, underline, and then the next line you put that blank, underline. Then underneath that you put reasons why. And underneath reasons why, you put the numbers 1, the number 2, and the number 3. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you through a brand strategy for a product that I worked on and how I changed it and how it changed how the brand was perceived by the people that use the product and how it influenced sales.
Okay.
So one of the favorite brands that I ever worked on, I don't know if everyone is aware of RIT Fabric Dye. It's a very old brand. And it was invented and really skyrocketed as the tie dye. RIT Dye invented tie dye because of the PR firm during Woodstock. And it's incredibly profitable. It's made with about 90% salt. It owns 90% of the market and only had one small competitor. And it was a wonderful brand to have in our stable of brands. All of the brands that I worked on were supermarket brands, and RIT was sold in the supermarkets as well as many other distribution centers. So using this format, I'm going to read to you the brand strategy for RIT Dye when I came on the business.
Okay.
So it starts like this. RIT is the brand of fabric dye that refreshes the color of aging fabrics. So that's the whole written strategy. And then, of course, there's 3 supporting reasons under it. RIT is easy to use, just add to washer. RIT comes in 40 beautiful colors. RIT saves you money. And your reasons why should always be something that is meaningful to your customers and provide you with a competitive advantage. And really the supporting statement should be something that possibly you know through talking to your customers or you have found out from research. So with that information is given to a vendor, an advertising agency, and they would come back with a message that is on strategy for what you believe is going to build your business. So the message when I came on to RIT was recycle with RIT, because recycling was very hot at the time. You always want to be involved with a message that's top of mind, that's topical, that has meaning that you can associate your brand with. And so that did very well for the brand. But when I came on board, recycling had become very commonplace. Everyone was recycling. It wasn't really an exciting message anymore, and it wasn't doing anything to drive the sales of the brand. It wasn't new and improved. So what I did is I rewrote the brand strategy. I changed it as follows. RIT is the brand of fabric and woodcraft dye that updates your, let me see what I wrote here. Oh, your clothing and decor with creativity and style. And the reasons were, RIT comes in 50 of the latest colors. New product, RIT Design It Liquid feeds your creativity, and RIT is fast and easy to use. The agency came up with the headline, Design It with RIT, and all of the ads were very beautiful and very creative. The results were that the volume increased 20% in 1 year. Just from that change in strategy that drove the messaging that went out to the marketplace. And I was promoted. And how did I know I was promoted? Because RIT Dye had a $2 million budget, but the brand I was promoted on with 2 other people had a $50 million budget. So getting to spend more money is where the fun is. So that's it as far as RIT goes. But I wanted to give you an example of how you would do this if you were doing personal branding.
Right.
For if you were an entrepreneur or if you're a solopreneur, or I used to call myself an OOO, an only operating officer.
That sounds good. Let's hear that.
So really how you would do it is you would just think about the bio that you just read and what would be the in quotes headline that I would want people to take away that my advertising agency would say about me. So what I would want people to take away is CeCe knows business and CeCe knows mind, body, spirit. And that's exactly what we're talking about now. So I'm on strategy for myself.
Would you set it up the same way that you suggested for the corporations? Like CeCe is the brand of blank that blanks.
That's exactly what I would do.
Okay.
In fact, this is what I wrote for my brand strategy. I was going to share it later, but I have it right here.
Oh, great.